Marky Joe 1990 here, and yeah, look at that. I have all of the Fire Emblem games in this series now. Damn straight, look at that shit. Anyway, oh yeah, I have 2 Sacred Stones, sort of by accident. I forgot the story behind that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop moving. So I guess I should talk about Fire Emblem Fates. The Norpath is really good. Gameplay and level design super well thought out, and there's a lot of gimmicks to keep things interesting. Hoshido fucking sucks. Funny story, alright, so the last few chapters of Hoshido are basically just enemy clusterfucks. And this game did everything it could to make it so that you can't low man it. Because now ranged weapons are much worse, and so on and so forth. And honestly, it makes the last few chapters really fucking tedious because you have to take them really slow, picking off the enemies. I was especially unlucky because I got very complacent and started to basically just use only 2 units, and that's just not enough to beat the game. So eventually I just sort of gave up and erased my file, without hesitation. I really fucking hated Hoshido in terms of gameplay. As for story, neither of them are all that great. Birthright kind of plays it safe, and it only manages to be mediocre. Nor has a lot of really stupid bullshit plot shit, but if you can get past that, it takes a lot more risks than Birthright, and in my opinion is the better story because it's more interesting and does better stuff here and there, even if the plot is way worse. Yeah, so get Conquest, and I mean, I should probably warn people that Conquest is really, really hard. I played it on normal, and to give you an idea, Conquest on normal is harder than Birthright is on hard. And that's mainly because of all the really creative level design ideas, as opposed to Birthright, which just finds its difficulty by cluster fucking you with enemies. Yeah. If you're new to this series, I don't want to recommend Birthright, even though it is the easier one. But at the same time, it is the easier one. Nor just did a lot more for me. And, I mean, either way, both of them have things that never get explained in the plot, and you need to play the other one in order to figure out those plot holes. But since the story is shit, it's not great in either one of them. So I honestly think nobody should go into this caring about the story for either one. Because, yeah. If you wanna play Fire Emblem with a good story, this one. But that one's also really fucking slow to play. I also recommend Fire Emblem 3 and Fire Emblem 5. Fire Emblem 5, I think, probably has the best story. Well, okay, FE3 does too. I'm honestly undecided on which one. And FE3 also does a good job, painting things in a more realistic light. Though FE5 does too, but FE9 kind of expands upon that, I feel. Wow, look at the shadows. Yeah, and then once you've played one of those, you pretty much have no reason to play any of the Fire Emblem games that are quote-unquote only good for their plot. Though, to be fair, almost all these games have something special to offer in terms of gameplay. And for that reason, many of them are still worth playing. Except for this one. This one, fuck this one. And I guess, which other one would I say fuck to? Well, I mean, nobody's gonna play the first Fire Emblem game, but it also has cool shit in it, and FE2 has some cool ideas. I never know when to end these videos, do I? Yeah, so, well, first things first, here's my hand. Oh damn, Marky Joe confirmed to have hands. I'm such a doofus. Oh, look at that. That's all my other shit. Oh, melatonin to help me sleep because I have sleeping issues. Yeah, so, oh yeah, there's my computer setup. I have all this garbage on here. That's lovely. I need to cash those checks. Hopefully nobody can, like, zoom in and enhance those images so they can... Well, I mean, doesn't matter. I'm going to cache them and then it won't matter. Yeah. So basically, all I wanted to say in this 5.5-minute video is play Nor, and then... Oh, you know what? I should mention something else. Playing Hoshido has made me legitimately concerned about the series, because they did a lot of things to improve the gameplay in both versions. Like, for example, hand axes are no longer super great. You can't, like, just low-man things, and player phase is much more emphasized, which I think is a huge boon. But if the series... Right now, Hoshido is selling slightly more than Nor, and I'm concerned that in the future, Nintendo will prioritize making the next games more like Hoshido, and, you know, making the level design, basically putting less thought into the level design and making it more, you know, mainstream, quote-unquote. Well, I don't even know if mainstream is the right word, but basically, if the next Fire Emblem games end up like Hoshido, I think I'm pretty much prepared to give up on the series. However, I mean, the fact that a Nor path even exists in the first place, you know, with all of its gameplay stuff, suggests that Nintendo is fully aware that this whole selling out thing, they can't, like, they need to acknowledge their hardcore fan base. So it's very possible that in the future we'll get something more like Nor, and they'll, like, you know, compromise the difficulty and level design shit of Nor, so that's more mainstream while also appealing to hardcore fans. Or they'll just make two paths in each new Fire Emblem game. One for hardcore dudes like me, and one for people who just want to fly about in Japan. In Birthright. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm going with this, is that, like, if the next Fire Emblem game has shit gameplay, I don't think I'm gonna... I'm gonna focus on looking at Fire Emblem hacks from now on, or making my own, like Chronicles of Lucaria. And since FEX&A is getting closer and closer to being released, I'm sure that's going to be a thing in the future for many people. So, either way, I guess I'm looking forward to what comes next, because I think so long as Nintendo doesn't do a cease and desist on Fire Emblem fan games, we're pretty much, like, we're always going to find new Fire Emblem games to play. So, yeah, that's it. Bye.